So on one of my shows, I had the once famous Debbie Daly mention how many views I have, and of course I don't have that many. I'm not that popular of a show, and uh, YouTube certainly isn't what it used to be. But when you fall out of favor with someone for whatever reason, uh, the person is likely to attack you and point out point out facts that are unflattering. Uh, I'm surprised she didn't mention how fat I was, but she says you're looking at yourself and other things. And I guess I do look at myself, when I'm on camera. Uh, so it's it is what it is. I don't try to make things up or whatever. I just try to do the best I can, and the stoicism is for myself. And we're living under times right now that I think are beneficial to stoicism. We're living under a pandemic, and we're living under very restrictive times. Um, this is very clearly not the age of information. I watched the movie Willard today. I watch a lot of the free films that are on YouTube. And I wanted to, because Darren says for me to do a movie show, and I think I might, but I want to say that movies can be inspiring, but in no way should films necessarily uh, influence your reality. Films are not reality. And he was saying, what Willard? I saw the 1971 version. I have not seen the remake. Um, Willard was a film I don't think they needed to remake, and that Willard is an extraordinarily entertaining film. But getting back to cinema is not reality. Most docudramas will say it's based on reality. Well, you can look that up on YouTube, Dan, about a person who trains rats. He's a loner, uh, isolated guy who's been mistreated, and he trains, like he finds a group of rats and they do his bidding. I thought it was very entertaining. And you're right, news is not necessarily reality, and news has become far less reliable before. And I don't know if it's because of social media pointing out all of the inconsistencies and stuff that they do, or it's the generation that came before them. I think the education system is far more serious and far more structured than have come before, and I've noticed that particularly CNN seems to lecture us far more. The new Cumberbatch movie, based on a story about his love of cats. So Darren's mentioning that movie about the one film I do really enjoy, and I kind of get something from it because, and I mentioned this, the original Cheaper by the Dozen. I'm looking that up as 1950. That, in my opinion, is really the film to see. Not, is it Clifton Webb that's in that film? Yeah, Clifton Webb, and I think it might be that film. Or is it another film? I'm just thinking. But as I recall, yeah, he was a time and motions expert. And of course, I like, I think efficiency and getting things done and working, I think make a life happier. The party always looks like fun, but at the end of the day, it's not. I also like the movie Remains of the Day. I like some of these British films uh, that have a thing of order and structure to them. I kind of it's something that I lack, but I really would like to maintain more of, is an order of structure and discipline and polish and shine. And it's something that we don't have today. We have a lot of vulgarity and feelings and emotions, and we are we've become, again. I went into a Discord room, and somebody cursed at me, and didn't necessarily. I mean, we had difference of opinions on the right of self-defense, and we had differences of opinions on the right of self-defense, and what was good and bad. And I mentioned, I'd mentioned Kyle Rittenhouse, and the guy he kind of went unglued on me. And it's probably not the best idea to do something like that, but this person, it was a complete overreaction to to my uh, to my response, and that's where the discourse is today. And movies today, movies and stuff, and the media doesn't show the types of discourse, and we don't even debate anymore. I remember Yahoo. A lot of these news organizations, like I know, for example, Yahoo doesn't even have comments anymore. They are afraid of the common man and woman stating their piece. Why? Misinformation? Information is wrong all the time. I knew for the longest time, we thought over 50,000 people died in Korea. Turned out it was less than 40,000. I think about 38,000 are the amount of Americans that died in Korea because they got one decimal point wrong. And now, I guess if those facts would have come out today and somebody would have pointed something out, they would have called it misinformation. People get things wrong all the time. And it doesn't matter whether they're government or big business, and yeah, private citizens. They're crackpots and they get things wrong all the time. But I guess people today are afraid of the common man. Are they afraid of the wrong information? And we can't even discuss it. What a shame. What a shame that we can't discuss an election and election integrity. We can't discuss the pandemic. Just what's the best solution to this problem? And yeah, we're living under it. We're living under lockdowns, or we're living under mandates. And we can't have an open and honest discussion. Are there people with crackpot ideas? Sure. Who cares? You can't decipher a crackpot idea to an idea that maybe needs further looked into? Either you can or you cannot. And again, people take movies a lot of times as they do inspire, but sometimes the inspiration at times is kind of misguided, and they bring up one while put downing the other, and things are more nuanced than that. This last documentary about the Black Panthers, was it the Judas and the Messiah, or the Messiah and I think it was called the Judas and the Messiah, about Fred Hampton. I'm not as familiar with him, but I do know about some of the Black Panthers, and some of the things they did were pretty vile. They're pretty vile to women, and just altogether nasty and vulgar. And people tend to want to protect them and have a protected class, whatever the hell that means. Now, I mentioned my octopus teacher. No, I have not. I have not seen my octopus teacher. There are films that inspired me to act and behave a certain way. And I'll get into those films. But I like films with strong characters who are realistic as can be. One of the films that doesn't get seen very often is a film, I think it's called Dirt, I think it's Dirty Pretty Things, or Pretty Dirty Things. That had a rather stoic character. I might look at Old Henry. And I enjoyed, I think it was Bringing Up Baby, another Clifton Webb film. Let me see here, Clifton Webb. Just want to remember the films that he was in. Oh yeah, he played in Sitting Pretty, and he played Mr. Belvedere, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. 1940, was it 1948? Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie Sitting Pretty. Was he born in England? He was born in Indianapolis, but he had kind of a British way about him. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the film Sitting Pretty. I might do a whole thing on that on Clifton Webb films and how they inspired me. He was in the movie Sitting Pretty. I guess there's a film called Pig that was Stoic, but Sitting Pretty. And I didn't like the TV show Mr. Belvedere. My favorite Tom Hanks film. So now it's being asked about my favorite Tom Hanks film. Well, if we're going to Stoic characters, I liked I think it was Road to Perdition, and I loved Forrest Gump. The character was rather stoic in Forrest Gump. He was just a simple, um, idealistic man. And what else did I thoroughly enjoy of Tom Hanks? So Road to Perdition, Forrest Gump. So my favorite, and I really enjoyed Saving Mr. Banks, particularly the scene when Walt Disney, and I forget the woman's name who wrote Mary Poppins, and Walt Disney talks about his father. I'm not as big a fan of Castaway. I like Castaway, but not as much as Forrest Gump um, and Road to Perdition or Saving Mr. Banks. And is there another film that I can think of? Yeah, those are the top three films of Tom Hanks. But Darren, I recommend a good Clifton Webb film if you're into classics. Sitting Pretty, very much an inspiration to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I often think of myself as mimicking that. Philadelphia was good, but again, not as good as the top three for me. Sitting Pretty, 1948. 48 it was. 48 or 49. But that film was really enjoyable. And then they did a TV show called Mr. Belvedere, and it certainly wasn't as good. Oh, you saw the movie Kane, and I don't know. Now I'm gonna duck go. I wonder, is that a foreign film? What year did that come out? That came out in 2000. Raising Cain. I'm not even seeing that on. Oh, you saw the movie Citizen Kane. I remember I saw that film, and I think when you first see it and you're looking for the mystery of it, that's great. But once you realize the mystery of the film, then it loses its appeal. But the cinematography is great, and there are people who really love that film. But anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Darren, thank you for listening. Darren, I think, is the only one that's listening. So, Darren, thank you for listening. Also, visit our website at transparencyandmerit.com. Thank you for listening.